Hey traders, John Howell here. Well, the markets have recently closed and it's been another incredible week. So I want to give you a bit of a wrap up of what's happening in the markets right now. Plus also there's one stock that I'm watching that I'm not too quite sure about it, but something really interesting is happening with that particular stock, and I think you guys are going to find it interesting as well. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. So let's get straight into it, guys. Just to let you know, I've been running a bit of a marketing promotion with my Inner Circle program. I've been running a 30-day risk-free trial to that program, and I'm actually about to take that down. So the first thing in the description there, guys, click on that if you want to try out my coaching program for 30 days. Then I'm going to be taking that down. So let's have a look at what's happened right now with the S&P 500. So look what actually happened with the S&P 500. Okay, we can see here recently, and this is actually really interesting here. Right, so if I zoom in here just a little bit more. Let me take everything off the screen. Look what actually happened here from the S&P 500 perspective, right? So we can see how that we opened up. Look at this here. So we actually opened up and we rallied up. This is the buyers came in really strong here. All right, so the buyers opened here. They came up really strong, and then they came back down and closed there. That's actually quite a weak close for this particular market, right? A very weak close for this particular market through here. And you can see how that we're actually at this level here of resistance into support. Resistance, and now finding a lot of support through here. So we are finding a lot of support through here right now, this one here. But here's the really interesting thing. This is the S&P 500 here. If we go a little bit deeper in what's actually happening within this bar, look at this here. So if I go to my hourly charts, look what's actually happening here. And let's actually bring on this trend line here. Notice how the hourly, we actually broke up, but then we come back down, and now we're actually failing through here right now. Right, we're failing through here. So and then if I bring up the actually 15-minute chart, this is the 15-minute chart here. Look what's happening here. We've actually failed through here. So by going a little bit deeper into the S&P 500, this is actually, now you can see like a rally, and it's just a short-term rally to the upside. And then we rolled over, and now we rolled over again. And now we can actually see that what's probably likely to happen, or should I say, if indeed we do break below this support level through here, okay, if indeed we do start to break below this support level here, we're probably likely to make a move back down towards this low level through here. So on a short-term level basis, like an intraday basis, we could see, what's that? Almost a 1% drop out of the markets, and it may even continue down from there. That may be the start of a lot more downside to come, possibly even down towards this trend line through here. So in fact, I've just noticed something interesting here. So I also noticed too that, let me draw a trend line from there to there, and I'm just going to extend this out. Extend it to the right, so I'm going to draw it from there to there. From there to that point there, okay? And maybe even a little bit more from that point there to that point there, okay? So that's what I'm going to draw from there to there. So we've got that there, and now if I bring this out to where we are now, look where we're actually getting very close to. Look at this here. So in fact, now looking at that level, it's probably more through. Yeah, look at that. That's that level through there, right? So this has been a whole level we've been rallying back up towards, and now we've been, look at this here, bouncing. This short-term leg to the upside on the 15-minute chart is, one, starting to break now, but secondly, if we do start to break below this level through here, we're probably likely to make a move down on the S&P 500. So that's what I'm noticing through there. And then that could be the start. If I go back to my daily charts now, that could be the start of a move back down towards, say, this level through here, right? Where is that? Where are you? Oh, is it there? Let's go to here. All right, it's not doing it. Where is it? It's not letting me do it. Oh, there is. There we go. There we go. That's why it wasn't doing it. Let's go back to the 6 month view. 6 month. 6 month view. There we go. Something like that. All right. So there could be, once again, that's that low level through there that I'm noticing. So it would be, yeah, somewhere through there. So if indeed we do start the breakdown through here, guys, this could actually result in a bit of a pullback down to this level through here, right? Which is about, what, 2 or 3% pullback? Because if we do actually have a look at the daily charts, we notice we actually have a pretty good strong support and resistance level through there. So if this does fail next week, we could be getting ready for a bit of a pullback in the overall markets on the S&P 500. This could be the last little push before we see a nice good pullback, and then we've got to wait to see what actually happens through there. Let's go look at the Dow Jones now, and the Dow Jones is actually still really strong. Something I've mentioned in my last few updates is about 50% of this large bar, right? So we had the low of this large bar at a high, and I said if we do start to break below this big bar to the upside on the Dow Jones, then we're probably going to retrace it and have a pullback here. But look what actually happened. We still haven't actually done that yet, right? We still made a low. We still came down, found support at the 50% level, and now we're actually breaking back to the upside. So if I go to my hourly charts through here, see if I can notice anything on a more of a short-term basis. That's that move to the upside. Let's go to the 15-minute chart now. Okay, so that's the 15-minute chart there. Okay, so sort of the same thing I'm noticing on the 15-minute chart that could be forming guys. All right, this is how you trade. If you're looking to trade intraday charts, this is what you normally do, right? So we can see we had this sort of, look at this here, resistance back here became what? Support. Now, if this is a true bounce and this is a true resistance becoming support, what should happen? This level should what? This level should hold, and we should continue up next week. Okay, so that's the first scenario, is that we do that and we continue up. And if that happens, let's go back to the daily charts, then we can see we have probably a nice move coming back up towards, I would say, that level through there, right? Which indeed, if we have a look at that, the Dow Jones could actually have, a nice little maybe 1 or so % move to the upside. Now, again, that doesn't seem like a big move, but when you're trading intraday charts, like your 5-minute charts and stuff like that, you can actually see what's going on there. Now, that's scenario number 1, right? So we look at the psychology of what the market is telling us. What is the market telling us? Firstly, let's look at this through here. If this is a true strong bounce, this resistance, which came up, broke up, came down, found support, it should be what now? It should be support, right? It should find really good strong support level, and then this move to the upside. If indeed we start to get something like this next week, and we break below there, what has that now done? Right? And this is where really focusing on trading the markets and really focusing on that and focusing on what the market's telling you right now. And not what you wanted to tell you or what you think. We're just really focusing on what the market's telling us right now. So right now, the market could go up, right? And then we know where it's likely to run to. If the market does break down and we get something like that next week, well, then guess what? We know what that's telling us, right? And this is a really big thing that I teach all my private clients, is that 1, we look for the right setup, but 2, we always be focusing on what the market is telling us and what's going on. And again, that whole inner circle program, you get to try it all out, guys, for 30 days. That link in the description there, guys, if you really want to know exactly what type of strategies, if you want to know the exact type of setups that's going to give you a massive high win-loss ratio, if you want to know the exact type of setups that when they appear on the charts, they're not likely to run on for just a small amount. They're likely to run on for hundreds and 100% in profits when using leverage like options and so on and so forth. If you want to be able to try out my scanner that I use, my exact scans that I use for free. If you want to get access to my weekly coaching program and test all that out, I'm running a 30-day risk-free trial to that entire thing. And again, I've been running it for the last few weeks. So I'm about to close it down. That very first link in the description there, guys, click on that because I'm about to take that down, and you'll be able to try all this out. Get access to all my top strategies, all my top systems, my scanning process. Try my weekly coaching, my live weekly coaching out for entire 30 days. And if you're not happy, just let me know and you'll never be billed. But if you are happy, guess what? You'll be happy to continue to stay a member, right? But again, guys, this is just a bit of a marketing test I've been running recently. I'm going to be taking it down real soon. Very first thing in the description there, guys. Click on that and you'll be able to see all that. So let's go. So that's what's happening through there. So if that does happen, what have we formed now? We have formed what? A high and a lower high. Okay, and if we break past, and then we're doing what? Then we're breaking past these previous low points, right? So in that case, who is in control at that time? Right now, who's in control? The buyers, right? Why? Because we have an upward trend, right? An upward trend right now. So this is low, higher low, but it's higher low. But what happens if we then make a high here? And then we now make a lower high here, right? Now we don't know it's a lower high yet, do we? But if it runs out and makes a lower high, but then breaks down and breaks past these previous lows, who's now in control? The sellers, right? The sellers are in control at this point in time. Obviously that changes from day to day because we're looking at the 15-minute chart now, right? So we flow with what the market is telling us. And then, so we see that, you see that, right? And we break. This is where we now change the trend. So if we got something like that, we should start to see an overall move to the downside, which should start to see something like this. This whole short-term break to the upside is a complete sucker rally. And then now we're probably likely to get this big move on the downside there. Does that make sense, what I'm showing you through there? So that's what I'm seeing through there on a short, again, this is a short-term 15-minute chart here, guys. I'm just looking at the hourly chart as well too. What's happening here? Again, we're slowly see this hourly chart as well too, right? Look at the differences here, right? So let's actually go to, I want to bring on my moving average here. Notice this here, guys, right? Notice this here. I'm gonna go a bit advanced on you here. Can I go a bit advanced on you guys? Is that okay? All right, okay, cool. So notice this is actually, notice this here. This is actually a whole leg to the upside is actually quite weak. And what's actually alerting me to a possible turning point on that 15-minute chart is one, what the 15-minute chart is doing. But secondly, when I go to the next time frame up, which is the hourly chart, that was the 15-minute chart. Look what's going on here, right? Notice every time we had a pretty strong move, that was the angle of the move, right? So look at this here. See, notice how we have the angle of the move through there? That's actually pretty strong. So if we get an angle like that, that's very, very strong, right? So if I create that, that was the same angle there, right? Look what actually happened here. It was a different angle, wasn't it? See how we actually had more of a like a that angle, right? And then look what happened here. We had a very, very, very strong angle through there. And then we had a very strong angle through here. But notice this here. Look at what's going on here. What's going on here? Is it the same angle, right? Now, the different angles is this, right? If we get something like that, it's strong, right? But look what's actually happening through here now. And this is what's saying that we could actually be possibly running out of steam, is because look at the angle from there to there. Now, if I change that color to say, let's go a red, okay, make that thick. If I change that color, notice how this has been actually that's the same angle through there, right? The exact same angle, right? So see how that's a bit slight. This angle through here is what? Strong. Up we go. This angle here, what? Is a slightly weaker. This is a bam, 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 right? If the bars were here, if we had bars here to be what? Bam, 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 bam. If the bars were here, we'd be doing what? Notice something like this here. Notice how it's actually slowly going up here, not like a rock, not like a big move up. It's just showing you what the buyers and sellers are thinking and feeling right now underneath the surface of this move, right? Now, it doesn't mean we're going to go down, but that's what trading is all about, especially when you're looking at the shorter time frame charts, guys, like the hourly charts and the 15-minute charts. And that very first thing in the description there, guys, when you click on that, in the actual membership area, for the inner circle, go to my futures and Forex tab, and you'll see how I actually trade the 1 minute chart, the 2 minute chart, the 5 minute charts, how I trade those on cryptocurrencies, on the Indian market, on the German market, on the futures markets, how I actually look at those markets and trade those shorter time frame charts. You'll be able to see exactly the layout I use, and everything's from there. So go check that out. So we can see what's going on through there. But notice this here, right? Notice this point. So that's the weak point through. So notice the last time we had this angle was right here, right? Was right there. That was the same angle, right? And now the angle of the moving average gives us a guide on how, is it strong up or is it weak up? Now, why is that important? Because if it's weak up compared to the last legs, then that tells us that this move could possibly be, there's not a lot of strength behind this move. So what does that mean? That means that there could be a point where, yeah, we may be getting an up move, but we could be getting an up move from here, but we also could be getting a rollover and another leg down, right? Up here, up, and then a rollover coming back down. Makes sense? So looking at this hourly chart now, and I'll take that off the screen there. Looking at the hourly chart, the big key for me would be what? Would be right, this level right here. Now that's probably the same for the 15-minute chart. If I go back to my 15-minute chart now, right, that's the same. That's that resistance back there, and now support. So if we go back to the hourly chart now, and I'll take that off the screen because that's more like just looking at the angle up, right? This is, again, guys, I'm getting advanced here. In that very first thing in the description there, guys, when you go check out that 30-day trial in the Inner Circle membership area that you get 30 days to try out, there is an advanced chart reading section in that membership area as well too. If you like this sort of stuff, I go a lot more deeper into that sort of stuff into that membership area there, right? So I'm going to take that off the screen. So if we do start to see this actually hold here, and we do get that what? We get that, let's go to the 15-minute chart here. And we do get the 15-minute chart and we roll over and we break down, remember on the 15-minute chart, then that tells me what's the hourly going to do? It's going to come back down. Now, if that happens, right, and that's that next support level right through there. Yeah, right. So that'll be the next support level right through there. If that happens on this chart here, okay, I'm not saying this is definitely going to, but we need to wait for it. If we get something like that, remember that was the same for the 15-minute chart. We're looking at the hourly chart now. If we do get that, right, then what is that telling us this whole thing here is this? What is that then? That is now what? A complete false breakout. This move to the upside could be a fake out, a sucker rally before the big boys drop it on everyone again, and we start to see something like that coming through there. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm looking at through there, guys. This is just a really deep analysis on the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. I really wanted to focus on that in this video here and really go deep with some techniques that I'm using right now when it comes to trend analysis, when it comes to the strength in moves by looking at the angle, right? Because if it's strong up, there's a strong trend. If it's weak up, then we know the weak move, that move could be slowly coming to an end. From that there, you can start to apply these analysis on any of these time frame charts. And of course, if you really want to put this all together into a really simple step-by-step approach that gives you a massively an amazing, incredible strategy that can give you a really good win-loss ratio overall, then again, guys, check out that link in the description there, guys. And remember, guys, that you can do this, right? You can do this. All you need is some really simple training. Notice how I'm teaching you and I'm showing you how to read the chart and not to read indicators. So many times, so many traders are focusing on learning how to read the stochastics or the RSI or the MACD. And they're completely focusing on the derivative of the thing instead of becoming a master of the thing. And to me, one of the best things that I've learned from my mentors who have taught me is how to actually become good at reading what the market is telling me. Because if I can become a master of the thing and not a master of a derivative of the thing, I'm going to be a much, much better trader. And lastly, what I want to cover today, guys, is I want to cover that one stock that I was talking about that it's not looking This is probably going to get a reversal real soon, which is looking at Tesla, right? Tesla, that's the one stock that I was talking about at the start of the video. I did promise you that. So looking at Tesla right now, look what's going on here with the good old Tesla. That's right, Tesla, right? Tesla. So what's happening here with Tesla is we can actually see here that we've actually had a really big move up, but look how far away we are from the actual 9 moving average. So right now we've actually had, if we're looking at this here from this perspective here, we can actually see how that we've actually had this high, low, lower low, and now we've had a very big move to the upside. If this is a true bounce, a true strong bounce out of Tesla, what's probably likely to happen is we're probably likely to get something like this out of Tesla. It'll then create a higher low, and then we will start to see this thing move to the upside. So this could be the first leg in an overall big bull market out of Tesla, but there's probably likely to get a pullback out of this level through here, only because we've actually had a very big move up. And very rarely will you actually get a move that does that and then you'll just get something like that, right? If the market is going down, you'll start to get some higher lows coming into place. Like if you look back here, notice how we actually had this low point through here, and then we started to create this higher low. See how we get these higher lows and we get these up bounces. You know, we start to get those bounces to the upside. So this is a very strong leg to the upside. What you expect now is maybe a pullback out of this level 3, especially because we're so far away. Like it's never actually been this far away from the actual moving average before. Like look at that through there, like to the upside. I'm just looking at, there's maybe something through there, right? So this is pretty far away from the moving average. So you expect a bit of a short-term little pullback towards this moving average. And I'd say probably even from that low point to high point from there, I'd say we could possibly even get like a bit of a bounce back towards this 50% level, which is also right along that level there. So expect a bit of a pullback here. I'd say maybe a 10 or or probably even a 15, maybe even a 20% pullback out of Tesla. And again, it sounds like a big thing, right? But it's only down towards the 200 level. And then if this is going to be a true strong bounce, we would possibly get somewhere or possibly get something like that coming into play, right? Which indeed, if I actually draw that from there to there, no, that's actually not one, right? So we'll possibly get a bit of a pullback through here. And then what's probably going to happen is as we get a bit of a pullback through here, which is really interesting, right? Because we're getting these, right now we're getting this whole strategy that's getting the approach right now, should I say, the big thing I'm noticing right now, as you saw, right, with the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, we're actually possibly getting this overall sort of shifting motion that's happening right now. What's actually happening in the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, we're getting that shift there, right? We're completely getting that shift where we could be getting a bit of a pullback, at least a bit of a short-term pullback, maybe not a crash, but a short-term pullback. Which goes inside with what's actually Tesla is doing as well too. So we could be getting this pullback through here. Again, you would expect to see a pullback happening with Tesla as well, because this is that lower low. So a move up, just a nice healthy pullback, and then we might get that bounce as well too.